do you think about where this legislation stands in terms of it kind of is bouncing back and forth? But what do you expect the legislature to do with 1168?
Yeah, so I think first you're standing at a fire. Fires have already started. Fire season is here. We responded 91 fires last week alone, and April isn't even over yet. We're seeing on both sides of the cascade. So fire season is here, and we are predicting that we are going to have another potentially devastating fire season, just like last year. The good news is that 1168 has made huge progress. We know that both the House and the Senate unanimously have passed it off the floor. There's clearly now a commitment by the legislature to fund wildfire response, forest restoration, community resilience. So we are poised to be in a very transformative moment of investing in what we have been calling for, what our firefighters have been calling for a very long time. So we're hoping this week's the last week of session. We're going to have this monumental moment. I think it's important for people, though, to realize that we're not going to get the resources immediately. So it's not coming necessarily for this fire season. We are needing more air resources. We are needing 100 new firefighters we plan on hiring. But given that we will not see this money until the end of July, and then it takes an enormous amount of time to hire and train those firefighters and to get the air resources by under contract, we are basically going to have exactly the resources we had last year. And we know that we had skeleton crews on the ground and limited air resources on top of and the air. So
that doesn't necessarily paint a positive picture, does it?
It doesn't. But let me say this. I will say this. I think it's important for people that, one, there is good news that resources are going to be coming. We also know that we're doing more significant things right now to get ready, knowing that we already have had 91 fires and it's April. Last year, we found ourselves desperately searching for air resources when California and Oregon were already on fire and there was nothing to be had. So we have already secured via contracts access to additional planes and helicopters so that we can call them as needed. So we are not going to be in as bad a situation as we were last year. We have also made sure that all of our national and regional agreements are up to date, and we are ready to access federal resources even more efficiently and effectively. And hopefully with COVID, right, we weren't able to get more resources in firefighters at the national and international level. As more and more people are getting vaccinated, we're hoping, obviously these are our first responders, we're going to have those resources more in number from neighboring states and neighboring nations. In addition to that, the work that we are doing in forest restoration has been ongoing. The money, as it comes forward, we can do that work so that we can make these forests more resilient as fast and furious as we can. And the last piece is oftentimes homeowners, neighborhoods, communities feel there's nothing we can do when the fire's right at their doorstep. The fact is, right now, people can be taking steps to make their homes and their neighborhoods and their communities more resilient to these fires, creating that defensible space around their home, removing the wood and the debris, cleaning out the gutters. Get your home and your neighborhoods ready so when fire is here, you have a fighting chance, and we're also helping our firefighters be able to protect you and themselves more.
That sounds like the cherry on top in terms of community resilience. I'm wondering if you might be able to specify a little further about what forest restoration looks like, what that means, I guess, in short and longer term.
Yeah, so we've already been making huge progress in restoring the health of our forests. We've restored 250,000 acres, but we are still just at the beginning of this. We've needed more resources from our state and our federal government. Our goal is to restore 1.25 million acres of forest just in central and eastern Washington. That means going in and removing the dead and dying trees, the ones that are literally kindling on our forest floor, removing the woody debris, removing the dead branches that create sort of these crown fires where the fuels the fires to go straight up and take out really healthy trees. Bring in prescribed fire into that landscape when we've removed that understory and the woody debris. So we're able to do a lot of that work even as soon as that money is coming forward, and we don't necessarily have to wait until fire season is over to do it.
Fire season looks like it starts early and then likely on the back end extended. What do you anticipate this rest of this year?
So I think, as we've seen, just 91 fires in 1 week, unprecedented. It's unprecedented, and it's in both sides of the state. I think we're likely to see where we're going to start our season like we have in April, and it will go well into October, just like it did last year and the years before that. Obviously, we're hoping we don't have the catastrophic Labor Day firestorms. You know, all that took was hot, dry conditions and hurricane force winds. What we're telling people is we're going to do everything we can to make sure we're ready to fight these fires with the limited resources we have. But we're urging people to take steps to make their homes more resilient. But also remember, 90% of our fires are caused by humans. So every one of us has ability to prevent a spark even starting. So we urge people to take every step possible. We've started the burn ban. This is unprecedented. I've been the Commissioner of Public Lands going on 5 years. It's unprecedented for us to be doing a burn ban of that size this early. But that's where we're at, unfortunately.
It really is astounding. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your afternoon to share with our viewers. I appreciate that.